Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshai, Bashem, Makakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 rest of the elect out there, Shalom to you all. I'm going to title this video, ICE agents are now giving Israelites the MOTB, the mark of the beast. So this is a video that was put up, I didn't watch the whole video, it's almost 12 minutes long, put up by GMS Vegas, 144 reloaded. Shall be had in derision. ICE agents joke about marking detainees with the MOTB. Now, we know that they don't have the power and the equipment to mark people, give them the chip, because the fulfillment of the MOTB is going to be where you're going to have a date set, you're going to go to a doctor or a tattoo artist, and they're going to be certified to give you the chip. And that's going to be a lot of doctors and tattoo artists are going to make money because you're going to have a steady amount of customers getting that chip. So everybody's going to get rich off of that. And that's exactly what John saw. He saw somebody sitting down and the doctor come along and give them a chip, or a tattoo artist come along and give the person a chip. And he probably saw it in the right hand. It could be in the left hand. The word right hand, the word there is dextrose, and that's Greek for your power hand. So your left hand could be also considered your right hand, your dextrose hand, your power hand, because most people are right-handed. That's your power hand. That's the hand you write with. There's a term ambidextrous, which means you can use both hands equally, like your power hand. So you got two power hands, the left hand and the right hand. You can switch up. Right? So anyway, John actually saw people sitting down, and the doctor would come along, or tattoo artist would come along and take the needle out and put this, and then they would shake the doctor's hand, they would go about their business. And then he noticed that there were people trying to buy things and couldn't buy them because they didn't have the chip. And that's what John saw. For you people out there in IUIC and ISUBK, you better get it, because you're going to have to explain it away any damn way. So anyway, this, like I said, this is a joke. But this is more. This goes deeper than a joke, because why would they joke like that if they do know that eventually people are going to get marked? You know, get these microchips in them. So let's go ahead and play it. I'm not going to make this long. You can watch the rest of this video. I know I am. So listen up.
The top.
ICE agents in Tennessee Highway State Patrol
turning
it into a
Tennessee Highway State Patrol. That's considered. I consider that the Bible Belt. You know, the Midwest or the Southwest. Tennessee is in the Southwest, if I'm not mistaken. But these holy rollers, these Bible Belt people, they believe that the mark of the beast. They know that it's a chip, and they thought it was the C ragamuffin, which it wasn't, because you did get a needle. That's the chip. Wait, no, that's not it. This thing coming now that they're going to put in you, they're going to leave in you, is a fulfillment of Revelation 13:16. So let me let it play here.
You know, so these devils are really showing themselves, man. Let's play it real quick.
Laughing about hunting immigrants and turning it into a sick game where
Hold up. Let me
they're seeing who can detain.
Salakia, let me adjust it real quick. All right, let me start it from the top.
ICE agents in Tennessee Highway State Patrol laughing about hunting immigrants and turning it into a sick game where they're seeing who can detain the most people, and they're keeping score by marking on detainees' skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look. Skin, saying it's the mark of the most people, and they're keeping score by marking on detainees' skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
So now, who's gonna administer the mark of the beast? The beast. That's why I call the mark of the beast. So the ICE is part of the beast system.
She beast at what, 6? Yeah. We gotta give them the mark of the beast. Team 6. Are we taking this stuff too?
Detainees' skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
He said what, 6?
Mark of the beast. Take a look.
He said what, 6? Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6.
It says here we got to give him the remark. No, he actually, I heard him say it. He said we got to give him the mark of the beast. And these Latin tribes don't know what's going on.
Laughing about hunting immigrants and turning it into a sick game where they're seeing who can detain the most people, and they're keeping score by marking on detainees' skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
He said what, 6? Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6. Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6. 6?
Saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
He said what, 6? Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6. Are we taking this stuff too? That's her property. He said what, 6? Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast.
It is right there. This closed caption not picking it up. We got to give them the mark of the beast.
Team 6.
Team 6.
Are we taking this stuff too? That's her property. No.
I'm sorry.
Are we taking this stuff too?
Are we taking this stuff too?
That's her property.
That's her property. Did you mark him? Did you mark him? And he said, we got to give him the mark of the beast. Let me play it one more time. And bring it back.
Skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look. He's skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
He said what, 6? Yeah. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6.
We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6. We got to give him the mark of the beast. Team 6. So this is a game with these people.
Are we taking this stuff too?
Are we taking this stuff too?
That's her property.
That's her property. Did you mark him? Did you mark him? This is a sick joke with these people. And then you're talking about Edomites can make it. These are Edomites. All ICE agents are Edomites. Some Jakes too.
That video was part of a 6-night frenzy that ICE agents went on in collaboration with Tennessee Highway State Patrol, where they stopped more than 600 vehicles. An analysis of immigration records and more than 50 hours of footage contradicts law enforcement arrest statistics and claims that the operation was about targeting criminals to improve public safety, showing there were fewer arrests made than reported by ICE, and they also had a pattern of profiling suspected immigrants. Video also shows them use a mix of derogatory claims to describe their targets, while keeping some.
So, of course, this is all part of that insurrection against the Lord's people. All right. And, they're playing a cruel joke, a sick game where they're basically hunting after Jake. And that's not to say that Jake is innocent, because this is the wrath of the Lord, of course, upon them. But just seeing how these devils are getting down, it just shows that, we're dealing with a very evil group. Now, let me get a couple scriptures. The first one I'm going to get is Proverbs 17. This is Proverbs 17. In verse 5, it says, whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. All right, and you could tell that these devils are happy to be in position of authority where they can abuse their power, especially against our people.
And we're going to do that to them in the kingdom. We're going to be fucking with them in the kingdom.
Playing these type of games, you're supposed to be cracking down on, potential criminals, and you're just going after, random families, and just finding reasons to persecute. When you're
in a way, it's good that it's happening to the Northern Kingdom, because they've been kissing ass of Esau since they got over here. They specialize in kissing ass. You know, the parents are so happy if you bring a white boy to the house, or the son bring a white girl to the house. They feel that they elevated themselves. So they're tasting the they know who the fucking devil is right now.
The biggest criminal on the face of the planet. All right, you're showing lack of humanity, and that's why the world's gonna eventually.
They have no. They don't possess any humanity. They're devils. They're devils, man. You don't. This is not a game where you put. And a lot of them say that they're Christian. Now, why would you? If you're a Christian, why would you administer? Even though you're fooling around, why would you play a game like that? Why would you play a game like that? But see, you Jakes, you got to wake up the fucking hard way. Like these major camps, these Israelite camps, they're gonna learn the hard way.
You know, come against you. All right. Let me get another one, because I think there's a scripture that say about it is sport to a fool to do mischief.
And that's what that is. Is mischief, mischievous. Let me go ahead and do a word search on that. Let me go ahead and do a cheat sheet. Where am I going? Bear me for a minute, y'all. Bear me for a minute. Look up the word mischievous in the Bible. Mischievous in the Bible. So we're doing like a little cheat sheet here. Right, here it is. In the Bible, specifically in the King James Version, the word mischievous is used to describe someone who plots, contrives, or plans evil, rather than someone who is simply playful or annoying. No, these guys are mischievous. People could get killed in the process. Okay, mischievous in the Bible. We're going to do it this way. We'll do it this way. Okay, good, Job. Is there wrong in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern mischievous things? Right. We know, we see evil. We see that the mark is coming. We see that they're doing mischievous. That's why the elder called it out. For they intend evil against thee, the Israelites. They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform. Because ultimately, they think they want to put Jake back into slavery. That's what they really want to do. I'm not going to read all of these. Psalm 41 verse 6, and when one come, give me a second here. And when one comes to see me, he speaks empty words, while his heart gathers malicious gossip. That's what Esau does. That's in Psalm 64. Against me. When he goes away, he tells it everywhere. So there's somebody, these devils are set up to do mischievous deeds against the Israelites. They're doing it against the Israelites. Thy tongue devises mischievous things like a sharp razor, practicing deceit. So what these guys are doing is not doing law enforcement, they're practicing deceit. When you joke and say, oh, did you give them the mark of the beast? Because they know that for them to say that, they know that the mark of the beast is the microchip. A good man obtains favor of Yahweh, but a man of mischievous devices will he condemn. You're going to come to naught. This wickedness is going to stop. Proverbs 14 verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of mischievous devices is hated. And you got a lot of people that hate Nero. You got a lot of red hat people that hate Nero. Because they're suffering, the economy is making them suffer as well. Proverbs 17 and 4. An evildoer is attentive to lips of vanity. Falsehood is given ear to a mischievous tongue. To a mischievous tongue. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. So these guys are mischievous. Ecclesiastes 10 verse 13. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. That sounds similar to the King James. So this is what these devils do. And they have fun doing it. They have fun doing it, man, making your life a living hell. And like I said, you Latin tribes, you Northern Kingdom, for all these years you had your heads lodged up Esau's ass. Now you seeing it. Now he's showing who he is. He don't give a shit about you. You figure he's not concerned about so-called Negroes. And you figure you can marry into them, intermarry into them. So you're finding out the real deal. Some of y'all motherfuckers voted for Nero any goddamn way. So he got you back. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Yeah, Proverbs 10 and 23 says, it is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom. And that's straight up mischief. But hey, what this does show you though is when that time comes when they actually issue the real mark, it's the prophecy already said that those that consent, they will be had in derision. You know, they're gonna basically mock you. You know, let me get that in 2nd Ezra real quick. Because the overall goal is this devil's gonna want to mark, everybody to come up under his system. You're gonna have to be marked, and if you're not, you're gonna be isolated. They're gonna basically isolate you. Keep you from society where you can't function. You can't have access. You can't basically live. That's ultimately what they're going to do. 2nd Ezra 16 and 68, it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And this whole new system is pretty much an idol. And they're giving life, to its image, through its technology. All right. And they're going to use that to basically control and crack down on the world population. Where they will be able to have ultimate surveillance and total control. All right. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. So this is what's going to be like, when they start to crack down and, force the people under this system, and they're going to be trying to mock those, especially those who fold under pressure, that's willing to, denounce their faith and belief, just to try to save their life. You're going to be made a mockery. So you seeing this little game this little sick game that they playing, that just give you the idea into the spirit that they're going to be in. See? So let me run it back, and then we'll close. I ain't gonna make this a long video.
Hunting immigrants and turning it into a sick game where they're seeing who can detain the most people, and they're keeping score by marking on detainees' skin, saying it's the mark of the beast. Take a look.
Oh, she said what, 6? Yeah. We gotta give them the mark of the beast. Team 6. Are we taking this stuff too? That's her property.
That video was part of a 6-night frenzy that ICE agents went on in collaboration with Tennessee Highway State Patrol, where they stopped more than 600 vehicles. An analysis of immigration records and more than 50 hours of footage contradicts law enforcement arrest statistics and claims that the operation was about targeting criminals to improve public safety.
They're just horsing around. They're goofing off. They're not taking law enforcement seriously at all. And they're targeting the Northern Kingdom. And they would want to target the Southern Kingdom as well. And they're messing with them too. And, goddamn well, Jake don't look like no Latin tribe, but they'll fuck with them. You got to prove yourself. Then you got then again you got Haitians and so forth. You got Cubans, black Cubans, so-called white and Indian Cubans. So you might be a Jake, woolly hair, dark skin. But if your accent is off, you don't got to, you got a accent, they're gonna mess with you on that because you might be a Haitian. So like the scripture says, Revelation 12:12, they shall come down among you having great wrath because they know that they have but a short time. And they're fucking with the mark of the beast thing like it's a big joke. Anyway, let it continue to play.
Safety, showing there were fewer arrests made than reported by ICE, and they also had a pattern of profiling suspected immigrants. Video also shows them use a mix of derogatory claims to describe their targets, while keeping suspects from contacting their family and, of course, physically marking detainees to track who made the most arrests. The troopers routinely stopped drivers for minor, non-moving violations.
Yeah, right now, our people, they're being made a derision. It tells you that in, was that Job, the 30th chapter? And these same people that are insignificant, they're base men, they're children of fools. But now, we're their byword. All right. Job 30:8, it says they were children of fools, children of base men, and were viler than the earth. And now I am their song. I am their byword. All right. And now you're being derided and mocked. The Lamentation 3:14. I was the derision to all my people, and their song all the day. Behold, they're sitting down and they're rising up. I am their music. Basically a joke. All right. But hey, their day is coming. Okay. And this the MOTB, that whole manner is not going to be a joke. That's going to become a reality soon, and everybody's going to be tested. And these devils that's doing this, it might.
And so you can understand, ICE agents can't give you the mark. You're going to have to consciously want it. They're going to throw it in your face. It's just like a vampire or werewolf. The movies show you that in the movie Sinners. They couldn't come into that juke joint unless they were invited. So they said, "Can I come in?" So why are you asking permission to come in? And then the woman, the main character, the Jake woman, she said they asked to be let in, and you invite them, then they can, they can come and get you. But other than that, you can't get in. So it's the same thing with the mark of the beast. they can't force it on you. They can't grab you up and force it on you. You would have to. It's a conscious thing that you would have to do, because you wouldn't be held under sin, because there's something that you did that it's no different than a woman that lies and said, I ain't got no man. You say, you sure you ain't got no man? I ain't got no man. I ain't got no man. You lay with her. That's on her. Because as far as you know, she wasn't dealing with another man.
Be a funny, amusing joke now, but they're gonna take it, of course, because they're part of the beast, the system.
They are the beast. They are the beast. They're the fingers of the beast. Bear with it for 1 minute. Bear with it for a minute. Bear with me for a minute.
Right? They acknowledging that. If you're able to give it, and they're gonna be destroyed, right along with everybody else that takes it. So,
that knowingly takes it, that agrees to take it.
Laugh now, but you show more than weep. Okay. So, yeah, and we're gonna be willing to lose our life if we need to. All right, because like it says in Revelation, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried. They're gonna try to capture some of us, and they're gonna try to put us in these facilities or detention centers, concentration camps, where we're gonna be interrogated. And when that happens, we can't fold. And the Lord said, you're gonna be tried 10 days, but be faithful unto death, and the Lord will give you a crown of life. So the elect are not going to love their lives unto death. So you can't win with that.
That's the mind state you got to be in.
Right. But anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. These devils is really showing their horns, as we all know. All right. But anyway, I'm going to give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. See you in the next one. Shalom.
Shalom.